The Unsolved Mystery of JonBenét Ramsey. Christmas night, 1996. 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey was found dead in her home. This shocking tragedy led to a mystery that still haunts America today. Patsy Ramsey, JonBenét's mother, discovered a ransom note demanding $118,000. But when police arrived, the unthinkable was found: JonBenét's lifeless body in the basement. The ransom note was bizarre, demanding money but offering no sign of a kidnapping. Was this an elaborate hoax, or was something darker at play? The first suspects were JonBenét's own parents, John and Patsy. The public began to question if the Ramseys were involved in their daughter's death. Was JonBenét's death accidental? Could it have been an intruder? Multiple theories surfaced, but the truth remained elusive. Some believed an intruder snuck in, possibly watching the family for weeks. But why would a kidnapper leave a body behind? The case exploded in the media. The Ramsey family was under intense scrutiny. Public opinion was divided. Who was to blame? As media frenzy grew, so did the pressure on the Ramseys. Were they guilty or innocent? The world watched, judging every move. In 2008, DNA evidence cleared the Ramsey family of any involvement. Yet, the case remained unsolved and the killer's identity remained a mystery. Despite breakthroughs, JonBenét's death remains a mystery. Who killed her? Was it a family member or an outsider? Some still believe an intruder was involved. The possibility of an outsider remains one of the most talked about theories. JonBenét's case continues to capture public fascination. Every new theory or piece of evidence is analyzed, but the truth remains just out of reach. The case was plagued by media interference, which overshadowed the actual investigation and may have led to critical missed clues. JonBenét's murder remains one of the most heartbreaking unsolved crimes in American history. It's a case that continues to mystify and haunt everyone involved. JonBenét's death teaches us one painful lesson. Some mysteries may never be solved, but the pursuit of justice never stops. With no arrests, fresh theories began to emerge. Some speculated about family members, others about a mysterious stranger who may have been lurking nearby. John and Patsy Ramsey continued to proclaim their innocence. In interviews, they appeared desperate to clear their names and find the real killer. Boulder police were under intense pressure. Their handling of the case would soon be criticized, with many pointing to missed evidence and errors in their investigation. In 1999, a grand jury was convened to investigate the Ramsey family. Despite evidence pointing to possible involvement, no charges were filed. The breakthrough in the case came with DNA testing. The forensic evidence cleared the Ramseys, but left more questions about the identity of the true killer. Despite years of effort, the case went cold. As the years passed, new leads dried up, and the investigation grew colder. The media frenzy around JonBenét's case did more harm than good. Sensationalized headlines and public judgment only added to the confusion. Over the years, various theories have emerged, from a family member accidentally killing JonBenét to the possibility of an unknown intruder who escaped undetected. Many experts have pointed out the mistakes made by the Boulder police. Critical pieces of evidence were mishandled, leading to questions about the integrity of the investigation. In 2006, Patsy Ramsey tragically passed away after a long battle with cancer. She died without ever seeing justice for her daughter. Years later, the case was reopened. New forensic technology offered hope that the truth might finally come to light. Despite ongoing efforts, the question remains: who killed JonBenét Ramsey? The search for answers continues to this day. JonBenét's legacy is not just about the tragedy of her death, but the relentless pursuit of justice and the questions that still need to be answered. New theories about JonBenét's death continue to surface, with every new piece of evidence reigniting hope that the truth will eventually be revealed. Patsy Ramsey's grief was undeniable. Her daughter's death consumed her life, and she spent every waking moment seeking justice. In 2016, a new twist was added. A suspect was named, but the investigation never moved forward. the mystery remains unsolved. JonBenét's case lives on in the hearts of those who believe justice will one day prevail. Her memory will never be forgotten. The world continues to search for closure, but some answers may never come. What's certain is that JonBenét's story will never fade from memory. The investigation may have ended, but the questions still remain. Who is the true killer? And why was JonBenét taken from this world? JonBenét's case teaches us that justice is not always easy to find. Sometimes, the truth takes years to reveal, but the search for it never ends. As the years passed, the case became a breeding ground for new theories. Some believed it was a jealous acquaintance, while others suspected an unknown stranger. Despite the lack of evidence, public suspicion never left the Ramsey family. Were they hiding something, or simply victims of a tragedy? Many still believe an intruder entered the Ramsey home, but the oddity of the ransom note and the lack of forced entry left investigators baffled. The police investigation was full of missteps. Evidence was mishandled, and some crucial pieces were never properly analyzed. The case became a media circus. Sensationalized headlines and conflicting reports left the public more confused than ever. In 2008, DNA evidence helped clear the Ramsey family, but it left an even bigger question. If they weren't involved, then who was? With no new leads, the case grew cold. The investigation seemed to stall, and the world began to move on, but the questions lingered. In 2006, Patsy Ramsey passed away from cancer, never seeing the truth revealed about her daughter's death. The world mourned the loss of a mother who never got closure. In 2016, fresh interest in the case was sparked. New forensic technology provided hope that the truth would finally be uncovered. A suspect was named but was never formally charged. The question remains, who is the real killer? Patsy Ramsey's life was consumed by the grief of losing JonBenét. Despite her death, the search for answers continued. Despite no new arrests, JonBenét's case remains alive in the hearts of those who believe justice will one day be served. Over the years, countless theories have been proposed. Some are logical, others are wild, but none have led to the truth. JonBenét's case has become a symbol of unresolved justice. It's a reminder that sometimes the truth is elusive no matter how much we want it. The road to justice for JonBenét Ramsey may never be completed, but the search for the truth continues, relentlessly. In the end, JonBenét's memory reminds us of the importance of closure and how vital it is to never stop seeking the truth. JonBenét Ramsey's tragic death remains one of the most haunting mysteries in American crime history. Though the case may never be solved, her story continues to captivate the world. Even after decades, JonBenét Ramsey's legacy lives on. Her case has changed how society views child beauty pageants and the way we investigate crimes. The public's obsession with JonBenét's case is undeniable. People continue to speculate and search for clues, never fully able to let go of the mystery. In 2019, new leads arose when fresh forensic techniques were applied to old evidence, breathing new life into the case. Despite years of investigation, the puzzle remains unsolved. The pieces don't fit together, and the answers remain elusive. The strain of the investigation took its toll on the Ramsey family. They were torn apart by grief, loss, and public scrutiny. For many involved, the psychological impact was overwhelming. The burden of being constantly under suspicion is unimaginable. The media frenzy surrounding JonBenét's case continued to thrive. Numerous books, documentaries, and movies were produced, capitalizing on the mystery. After years of public attention, the Ramsey family withdrew from the public eye. Their silence spoke volumes, but the questions never ceased. As with many high-profile cases, conspiracy theories flourished. Some believed the case was covered up, while others felt the truth was too uncomfortable for the public to handle. Years after the tragedy, the Ramseys were finally able to speak about JonBenét again, sharing their side of the story in a documentary. Legal battles continued, with new evidence being examined, yet no consensus on how to proceed. The Boulder Police Department faced heavy criticism for mishandling the case. Were crucial mistakes made? Above all, JonBenét Ramsey's life was tragically cut short, leaving the world wondering what could have been. Her murder remains one of the most publicized cases in American history, still captivating global attention. Each new lead fizzles out, yet the unanswered questions linger. The tragedy affected not just her family, but her entire community, a pain shared by all who knew her. JonBenét's case serves as a powerful reminder that justice may take time, but it is never out of reach. The search for peace continues for her family and loved ones, with hope that one day the truth will be revealed. Her case lives on in the hearts of those who seek justice. As years pass, the mystery remains unsolved, yet it will never be forgotten. Time moves forward, but no one has been held accountable for her death, and the truth still waits to be uncovered. Investigators continue to revisit the case, hoping that new technology or insight will lead to a breakthrough. Over time, public opinion has shifted. Some now believe the case was mishandled, while others still suspect the Ramseys. The media's involvement only fueled the chaos, with misinformation and sensationalized headlines muddying the narrative. The Ramsey family's struggle was not just with the public, but with a system that seemed intent on pinning the blame on them without proof. In 2008, DNA evidence provided hope, clearing the Ramseys but raising even more questions about the real perpetrator. Theories still swirl, from a botched ransom attempt to an intruder theory, yet no single explanation fits all the facts. Despite scrutiny, the Ramsey family remained silent advocates for justice, hoping that the truth would one day come to light. The ultimate question remains: who killed JonBenét Ramsey? Until the truth is known, the mystery will continue to haunt both her family and the public. Public judgment weighed heavily on the Ramsey family, and no one could truly understand the pain they endured, except those who lived it. Years passed, and though investigations continued, JonBenét's killer was never brought to justice. As time moved forward, media coverage shifted from sensationalism to reflection, questioning if justice would ever be served. JonBenét's story remains a tragic reminder of the darkness that lingers when questions go unanswered. Though the case remains unsolved, the hope for justice never fades, with people still searching for answers, no matter how long it takes. Public fascination with JonBenét's case remains strong, with new theories and investigations still emerging today. Her legacy is not just about the mystery, but a reminder of the importance of justice for all victims. Advances in forensic science bring hope that one day the truth will finally be revealed. JonBenét's case changed the way we approach child safety and criminal investigations, leaving a lasting impact. Each year, people gather for vigils in her honor, ensuring that justice is never forgotten. Though the search for truth may never end, her memory remains a powerful symbol of the pursuit of justice. The search for her killer will continue until the truth is uncovered, serving as a reminder that no mystery is too great to solve. Until then, JonBenét is remembered as a young life taken too soon but never forgotten. Investigators continue searching, hoping for the breakthrough they have long awaited. With every advancement in forensic science, the case moves one step closer to resolution. JonBenét's name has never faded from public memory, with new theories and discussions keeping her story alive. Decades later, her case still influences how we approach justice and child protection. Her death was a devastating loss, not just to her family, but to all who followed her story. Despite the years, both her family and the public continue seeking answers that remain elusive. The pain of uncertainty weighs heavily on her loved ones as they search for closure that may never come. Her case has become a staple of true crime discussions, appearing in documentaries, books, and films, yet the truth remains just out of reach. The Ramsey family, despite years of pain and suspicion, continues fighting for justice, determined to uncover what really happened. They fear her memory fading into obscurity and vow never to let her story be forgotten. JonBenét's legacy is a haunting one, reminding the world of both the vulnerability of the innocent and the need for justice. Her case changed how law enforcement handles high-profile investigations, proving that hard lessons come at a cost. The power of media has kept her case in the public eye, ensuring it remains one of the most discussed crimes in history. The mystery of her death will likely endure for generations, standing as proof that some crimes may never be solved. But as long as there are those who seek the truth, JonBenét's story will never be forgotten. In a world where answers often remain just out of reach, her case reminds us of the darkness that can follow tragedy. Though she never had the chance to live a full life, her memory remains a symbol of both loss and the relentless pursuit of justice. The world may never know the full truth of her death, but her story continues to inspire generations to fight for justice and hold on to hope. JonBenét Ramsey's case remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in American history, proving that the fight for justice never stops. As the years pass, the mystery still haunts those seeking justice. What really happened that night? The strain on the Ramsey family has been immense, yet they persist, burdened by scrutiny and pain. Despite public judgment, they continue advocating for their daughter, refusing to let her story fade. The world watched, waiting for the truth to come to light, but with every new lead, the mystery only deepened. As we look back, we are left with enduring questions. Who did this? What happened? And will we ever know the truth? Even without answers, JonBenét's memory endures, serving as a symbol for all victims whose voices were silenced. The hope for closure and justice continues, ensuring that as long as her case remains open, JonBenét's story will never be forgotten. Each passing day without an answer makes the weight of the mystery heavier. Yet the search for the truth continues. JonBenét's legacy is more than a tragedy. It is a call to action, reminding us to protect our children and fight for justice. True justice may be elusive, but its pursuit is relentless, proving that strength and resilience define those who seek the truth. Though her case may never be fully solved, her story will inspire future generations to fight for justice. JonBenét was taken too soon, but her memory will never fade. We say goodbye for now, but her story will live on forever,